In 1931, Dr. Carl von Cosel was working as a bacteriologist in a hospital in Key West, Florida. The hospital was filled with people suffering from the then incurable disease tuberculosis. Elena Hoyos was one of those unfortunate people. Carl von Cosel tried everything in his power to save the young woman. But despite his efforts, Elena died 3 months later at the age of only 22. Von Cosel had been so taken by her beauty that before she was buried, he had a death mask made of the woman he had grown to love. But while at the cemetery, he also realized that water would eventually seep into her coffin and quickly destroy her body. So he got permission from the family to build a concrete mausoleum on the site of her grave. Inside, he placed a metal airtight casket which contained an incubator tank filled with formaldehyde to further stop any decay that might take place. Dr. von Cosel's obsession with Elena began to consume his life. He left his job at the hospital and now began to spend more and more time inside the little stone house. He wrote in his journal, "I'm so happy I am back with you, my darling. Very soon the hour approaches when I will take you home with me." But Dr. von Cosel's nightly visits began to attract the curious. More and more people wondered why he came to the mausoleum every night. But one day his visits suddenly stopped, and people began to wonder where he had gone. Years passed before Carl was seen again. To avoid the curious, he had transported Elena's body to a small house near the sea. Neighbors said that they would often hear him playing the organ late into the night. Day after day he would come and go, always carrying with him large boxes filled with perfume and preservatives. Rumors began to spread. And finally, Elena's sister learned of Carl's strange behavior. When she went to his home, she demanded to be taken to the mausoleum to see Elena's body. "That will not be necessary," von Cosel said. And he proceeded to take her upstairs to the bedroom. And there, lying in the bed, dressed in a wedding gown, was something that looked like a doll, its features glistening like wax, its glass eyes staring into space. Horrified, Elena's sister refused to believe this puppet was the person she had known all her life, and she demanded that the body be autopsied. So authorities put it into a basket and took it to the Lopez funeral home, where an autopsy was performed.
At the autopsy, the doctors found that she was basically a decayed corpse. Just fragments of skin, no blood, and bones that were held together by piano wire. She had glass eyes and a wig made out of her own hair that had fallen out over the years as she decayed. As her skin deteriorated, he would replace it with oiled silk and wax. He used perfume to cover up the odor of the decomposition process. As the pathologist continued the autopsy, they found that he had inserted a vaginal tube inside of the body so that sexual intercourse could be performed. It was difficult to believe that a sane man could have lived this way with a corpse for so many years.
Von Cosel was examined by psychiatrists and declared to be sane. But the pathologist said that this was the most bizarre case of necrophilia he had ever seen. Even so, all charges were dropped against him because after 7 years the statute of limitations had passed. After the trial, Elena's body was restored and put on exhibition. Thousands of people now came to see the woman who had become part of the now infamous love affair. Eventually, she was reburied, only this time the location of her coffin was kept a secret, so von Cosel would never be able to find her again. In 1952, police were called to an abandoned house. There, they found the body of an 83-year-old man. Lying next to him was a life-size doll wearing the death mask of Elena. The man was Carl von Cosel, who even in death had refused to be parted from his beloved. The last entry in his journal said, "Human jealousy has robbed me of the body of my Elena, yet divine happiness is flowing through me, for she has survived death. Forever and ever she is with me."